Hi, everyone. Welcome to Storytime. My name is Miss Jen, and I work at the Downtown Library. And we're so excited to have you here with us today to sing songs and hear stories and have fun while we learn things. And today we are going to be learning about the letter M, the sounds that it makes, some words that have M in them. We're going to have stories that have a lot of M sounds in them. So I'm very excited about all that. But before we get started, it's always nice and polite to say hello to your friends, right? So get out your waving hands and your pointer fingers and sing along with me. Are you ready? Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? How are you this morning? I am fine and I hope you are too. I am fine and I hope you are too. I am fine and I hope you are too. Hope you are too this morning. Reach up high and wave your hands. Reach up high and wave your hands. Reach up high and wave your hands. Wave your hands this morning. Bend right over and touch your toes. Bend right over and touch your toes. Bend right over and touch your toes. Touch your toes this morning. Now we're ready to have some fun. Now we're ready to have some fun. Now we're ready to have some fun. It's story time this morning. Good job. You're so good at saying hello to people. Okay, let's talk about the letter M. Do you know what the letter M sounds like? What sound does it make? Does it sound like mmm? It's kind of like you've eaten something yummy and you say mmm. That's the sound it makes. And this is what it looks like. Are you ready? This is a capital M or a big M. This is what you would see if it was at the front of your name or if it was at the beginning of the sentence, which is a bunch of words that are together. If your name was Miss Mackey, you would have two M's in your name, Miss and Mackey. We love our Miss Mackey. Or if your name is Margaret, or if your name is May or Michael, you would probably see this big letter M. I like it because it has so many straight lines in it, doesn't it? That's a fun one to draw. If you have a little M in your name, or if there's a M that's not the first word in the sentence, it looks a little like this. So it's smaller and it has curves instead of straight lines. You could sort of make it a little one with straight lines too, but this is what it looks like. So you would see this in your name if your name is Pamela. You would have an M in the middle of it. If you're at the beginning of a word in the middle of a sentence, this is what they look like. Can you put your pointer finger in the air and draw a big M for me with those straight lines? Can you go like this? Good job. What about a little M? Put your finger in the air and draw a straight line and then two little bumps. Good job. Look at you. Now, when you see the letter M out in the world on street signs or in a grocery store, you can show your grown-up and say, that's a letter M. Good job. I have some pictures, and let's see if you know what the M words are for these things. You know it's really cold today, right? It got so nice and warm this weekend, and now it's so cold today. So some of you, if you go outside, might wear some of these. This is kind of a wrinkly picture. Do you know what these are? It starts with an M. You put them on your hands, and all of your fingers are in there together. Do you know the word for that? Mittens. Good job. And some of them have those strings on them. I like that. This is an animal, and you're going to see this animal a little bit later in something. What is this big guy? And he has antlers. And if you saw one in person, it would be super tall with these long legs. Starts with a m sound. Moose. Good job. Like I said, you're going to see him a little bit later. We have some of these outside of Boise, all the way around our city, basically. And some people like to ski down them. Some people like to hike them. I kind of just like to look at them because they're pretty. Do you know what M word that is? Mountains. Good job. Nice work. And then this M word comes out at night. And sometimes it's round like this and it's up there with the stars. And sometimes it has different shapes. What M word is that? The moon. Good job. And our final one is a little bit tricky. I don't know if you've seen one of these in real life, but they are things that if you have something that's metal, which is another M word, it will stick to it. Sometimes you have these on your refrigerators, and it's an M word. Magnet. Good job. That's not an M word, but it is metal. Good job. All right, way to go. You are so smart. Okay, I'm going to put Mr. Moose down here for later. Okay, our first book today is called Quit Calling Me a Monster. Monster. There's our M word. Quit calling me a monster. But he is a monster, isn't he? He's really happy. He's a happy monster until, oh no, look at those faces on the school bus. Oh, now he looks sad. The words for this book are by Jory John, and the pictures are by Bob Shea. Quit calling me a monster. Just stop it right this minute. I'm being totally and completely serious here. It really hurts my feelings. I am no monster. Just because I have horns and wild eyes and clompy feet and long toenails and fangs and crazy hair, just because I have a huge toothy smile that glows in the dark, oof. Just because I roar and scream and holler and hoop and cackle and howl at the moon and howl at the sun, just because I hide under the bed or at the back of the closet or behind the shower curtain or in the glove compartment, it really bothers me when you call me a monster without even thinking about it. There goes a monster, you exclaim when I pass by. Mommy, save me from that monster, you holler when I'm just trying to get some groceries. I think there's a monster under my bed, you scream when I'm just trying to sleep. Okay, so maybe I let my claw slip out and maybe I growl in my sleep, but it's not my fault. You should see you when you sleep. It's all so very annoying. It's not like I ever call you names, do I? I could easily be like, look at that little meat snack over there. Or there goes that kid I'm going to chomp up. It's not very nice. But I don't. I don't say anything because I have good manners. Another M word. You could really learn something from me. Yep, I'm a monster with excellent manners. I didn't mean monster exactly. I'm not a Okay. I'm technically a monster. After all, I have horns and fangs and wild eyes and crazy hair and clumpy feet and long toenails and a huge toothy smile that glows in the dark. And my parents are monsters. It's all kind of obvious, I guess. Still, I really don't like being called a monster one bit. How would you like it? You wouldn't. That's how. So quit calling me a monster, everyone. My name is Floyd. Floyd Peterson. Please call me Floyd Peterson from now on, and I won't roar at you like this. Roar! Or this. Growl. Or this. Kaya! That's the roar of Floyd Peterson. Not bad, right? Now I'm going to bed. Where is he going to bed? The closet. Try not to wake me when you clomp in with your silly feet. No offense. Daddy, I think there's a monster in my closet. No, son, it's just Floyd Peterson. Oh, okay. Good night. Much better. The end. That was so Did you think that his name was going to be Floyd Peterson? No? What did you think his name was going to be? I don't know. Maybe he does look like a Floyd. All right. Our next book is about a girl and her stuffed, what is this? Monkey. It's called Monkey and Me. Monkey and Me by Emily Gravett. Monkey and me, monkey and me, monkey and me. We went to see some penguins. Did you see that? They were walking like penguins. So let's guess what they're going to go see by what they're doing in the pictures. Do you think we can do that? Monkey and me, monkey and me, monkey and me. We went to see some. What animal hops like that and carries their babies in their pouches? What do you think? Kangaroos! Monkey and me, monkey and me, monkey and me. We went to see some. What animal hangs upside down? There's a bunch of them. Can you think of one that might hang upside down in a cave? We went to see some bats. Is that the one you were thinking of? Look how cute that bat is. Monkey and me, monkey and me, monkey and me. We went to see some. What animal is that kind of shape and has a long nose? What do you think? Elephants. Look at that. Cute. Monkey and me, monkey and me, monkey and me. We went to see some. What animal swings through the trees like that? Monkeys, of course. Oh my goodness. Monkey and me, monkey and me, monkey and me. We went to sleep. The end. Oh my goodness. They did so much that they tired themselves out and went to sleep. And here are all the animals they saw. The penguins and the kangaroos and the elephants. Nice. I love that story. Have you ever been to a place where you saw animals like that in real life? Have you ever been to the zoo or any place like that where you saw some monkeys? Ooh, speaking of monkeys, I was going to go to the next book, but we have a song to sing about monkeys and tigers and elephants. And I need you to stand up where you are at home because this has some action. So stand up where you are. And when we talk about the monkeys, we're going to say, ooh, ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ooh, ah, ah. Can you do that? And we talk about the elephants. We're going to pretend we have a nose and we're going to go, Roar. They make a better sound than I do. And when we talk about the tigers, we're going to go, roar. I know you're going to be good at that. And then I can't do it here because if I did it, you wouldn't be able to see me do. But we're going to jump to the front and the back. Can you try that really fast? Jump front and then jump back. Okay, good job. I think you are totally ready for this. I think my phone is not ready for this. There we go. You ready?
We're gonna do the monkey. Do the monkey. Monkey, monkey. It's alright. Do the elephant. Do the elephant. Do the elephant. That's alright.
You ready to jump?
We're gonna jump to the front and back. Jump to the front and back. Come on and jump to to the front and back. That's all
Was it
right.
fun? Let's get ready for tigers.
Now to the tiger. To the tiger. Tiger, tiger. That's all right.
Ready to jump again?
Jump to the front and back. Jump to the front and back. Gonna jump to the front and back. Yeah, that's all right.
Good job. That's me.
We're gonna do the
A monkey. A monkey.
to the elephant. The tiger, tiger.
Wow. Good job. You were so many animals all at once. You're so good at pretending. I love that. Did you have fun jumping to the front and the back? Did anybody fall down? Sometimes that happens. All right, for our next story, we are going to read about me and Mr. Fluffernutter. What are the M words in that? What are the M words? Me and Mr. Fluffernutter. What is Mr. Fluffernutter? He's a cat. Good job. This book is by Jennifer Gray Olson. Mr. Fluffernutter and I are best friends. We love spending time together, doing all of our favorite things. Look at them catching butterflies. Today we're having a tea party. Mr. Fluffernutter loves tea parties. Milk and sugar, Mr. Fluffernutter? Does Mr. Fluffernutter look like he loves tea parties? I don't think so. After tea, we play dress up. Looking good, Mr. Fluffernutter. He enjoys being fancy. Does he look like he enjoys being fancy? Ooh, I don't know. We have tons of fun all morning. Does that face look like it's having fun? Or that one? Or that one? Oh boy. Hey, where are you going, Mr. Fluffernutter? It seems like Mr. Fluffernutter would rather stare at the fish today. Okay, Mr. Fluffernutter. You want what for lunch, Mr. Fluffernutter? And now you just want to play with your yarn? Ugh. Maybe Mr. Fluffernutter and I aren't best friends after all. Maybe we would have more fun alone. Uh-oh. See, that's better. Much better. Does it look like they're having more fun? I think they look kind of sad. Aw, Mr. Fluffernutter. Look, she was drawing him, painting a picture of him, and he brought her his fish bones. It's the kind of gifts cats like to give, isn't it? Mr. Fluffernutter and I both really like bath time. We just do it a little differently. She does hers in the bathtub. Mr. Fluffernutter licks himself clean. Good night, Mr. Fluffernutter. The end. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever had a best friend, but you didn't always love to do the same stuff? I think that's pretty natural. I think a lot of friends are like that. Oh, remember when I showed you the moose at the beginning? Well, we are going to do some counting and some numbers with our friend Mr. Moose. So here's our moose. What are these? Does anybody know? They kind of look like cupcakes, but without the fun frosting and sprinkles. Does anybody know what those are? It's an M word. Muffins. That's right. Did anybody guess muffins? And can you help me count and see how many we have? Because it seems like we have a bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 muffins. 8 big muffins on the windowsill. Mr. Moose came along and ate his fill. which was 1. Now how many muffins are on the windowsill? If we had 8 muffins and we took 1 away, how many are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 muffins. 7 big muffins on the windowsill. A moose came along and ate his fill. This time he ate 2. 7 minus 2 muffins. How many muffins are on the windowsill? Can we count them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 minus 2 is 5. Awesome. 5 big muffins on the windowsill. A moose came along and ate his fill. How many muffins are left on the windowsill? We had 5 and we took away 1. 4 muffins. Good job. 4 big muffins on the windowsill. A moose came along and ate his fill. He's going to do 2 again because he's really hungry. We had 4 muffins and we took away 2. How many are left? 1, 2. 2 big muffins on the windowsill. A moose came along and ate his fill. This one's my favorite because it's chocolate. We had 2 and now there's 1. How many muffins are left on the windowsill? 1. I already answered that, didn't I? 1 big muffin on the windowsill. A moose came along and ate his fill. How many muffins are left on the windowsill? 0. He ate them all. I think the lesson here is do not leave big muffins on the windowsill if a moose is around. That's the lesson I learned anyway. Oh my gosh, you're so good at counting. And you were doing math. Yeah. Taking away subtraction. So smart. Okay, our last story today is called Muncha Muncha Muncha. Is that the sound that you make when you eat something? Muncha Muncha Muncha. Well, this involves bunnies, so I think that's the sound that they make when they eat something. This book is by Candace Fleming, and the pictures are by G. Brian Karras. Let's see what these bunnies are going to get up to. For years, Mr. McGreely dreamed of planting a garden. He dreamed of getting his hands dirty, of growing yummy vegetables, and of gobbling them all up. But he never once tried it until this spring, said Mr. McFeely. This spring, by golly, I'm going to plant a garden. So he hoed and he sowed and he watched his garden grow. Lettuce, carrots, peas, tomatoes. Yum, yum, yummy, said Mr. McGreely. I'll soon fill my tummy with crisp, fresh veggies. But one night, when the sun went down and the moon came up, 3 hungry bunnies appeared. Tippy, 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 pat. Muncha, muncha, muncha. Muncha, muncha, muncha. They were eating his lettuce. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his gnawed sprouts, he was angry. So he built a small wire fence all around his vegetable garden. There, he declared. No bunny can get into my garden now. Do you think they can get over that fence? And the sun went down and the moon came up and tippy, 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 pat. Spring hurdle, dash, dash, dash. Muncha, muncha, muncha. They sure did. The next morning, when Mr. McFeely saw his nibbled leaves and gnawed sprouts, he was really angry. So he built a tall wooden wall behind the small wire fence all around his vegetable garden. He huffed. Those flop ears will never get over it. No bunny can get into my garden now. And the sun went down and the moon came up and tippy, 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 pat. Dig, scrabble, scratch, scratch, scratch. Spring hurdle, dash, dash, dash. Muncha, muncha, muncha. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his chewed stems, his nibbled leaves, and his gnawed sprouts, he was really, really, really angry. So he made a deep, wet trench outside the tall wooden wall behind the small wire fence all around his vegetable garden. Ha! He snorted. Those puff tails can't get under it. They can't get over it. No bunny can get into my garden now. Do you see the trench and the big wall and the wire fence? And the sun went down and the moon came up and tippy, 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 pat. Dive, paddle, splash, splash, splash. Dig, scrabble, scratch, scratch, scratch. Spring, hurdle, dash, dash, dash. Muncha, muncha, muncha. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his chomped blossoms, his chewed stems, his nibbled leaves, and his gnawed sprouts, he was furious, which is a word that means really mad. So he hammered and blocked, sawed and stalked, drilled and filled, and trapped and locked, and he built a huge, enormous thing before the deep, wet trench, outside the tall wooden wall, behind the small wire fence, all around his garden. "I've outsmarted those twitch whiskers for sure," he exclaimed. "They can't get through it, they can't get under it, and they can't get over it. No bunny, no way, no how can get into my vegetable garden now." And the sun went down, and the moon came up. Tippy, 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 stop! The 3 hungry bunnies looked and smelled and touched the huge, enormous thing before them, and tippy, 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 pat, the bunnies hopped away. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his untouched vegetables, he was happy. "I beat the bunnies," he whooped and did a jiggly wiggly victory dance, then climbed over, jumped across, squeezed between, and crawled under until he reached his vegetable garden. "Ah," sighed Mr. McGreely, "at last." Smacking his lips, he picked and pulled up lettuce, carrots, peas, tomatoes, and with his basket overflowing, he reached inside for something yummy. Muncha, muncha, muncha! The bunnies got in the basket. They are some smart bunnies. The end. Look at them all chomping on carrots together. I guess he decided he couldn't outsmart them, so he had to just join them. Wow. I like that this one had lots of M words. It has Muncha, Muncha, Muncha and Mr. McGreely. Bunches of M words. Very nice. Well, that, I am sorry to say, is all of the M things that I have for us to do today. Before we go, I just want to let everyone know that we will be back here at 10:30 next Wednesday with another story time from Miss Mackey. And let's do our goodbye song with our signs. Do we remember what our signs are? This is the sign for more, M word, more, and then we're going to be together. So we're going to put our hands like this together and stir. We're going to talk about being happy. This is our sign for happy. We're going to talk about friends, and we're going to make our fingers friends like this, and then turn it over and make them friends like this. You ready? The more we get together, 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 the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. And I'm happier because I got to hang out with you today. I hope you have an amazing week. Go out and find lots of M words out in the world, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.